It's the first visit by an African leader to China this year, and the first state visit to Beijing since the conclusion of the two sessions annual political season. Chinese President Xi Jinping met with his Cameroonian counterpart Paul Biya at the Great Hall of the People. President Xi said China is willing to deepen cooperation based on mutual benefit.
China and Cameroon should continue to deepen high-level exchanges, including various aspects of exchanges, and continue to support each other's core values and interests. This includes expanding trade areas and collaboration in key areas.
Cameroon's leader echoed President Xi's remarks. Biya wished President Xi full success in his new term. The Cameroonian also expressed willingness to work with President Xi to strengthen existing ties and welcome future cooperative relations between the two countries.
I hope that the relationship continues to flourish as part of a true partnership based on the principles of solidarity and mutual respect, which has stood the test of time. China's contribution has been decisive in carrying out many important projects for the economic and social development of my country, and the list of all these projects is very long.
Since China and Cameroon established diplomatic ties in 1971, bilateral cooperation has grown steadily in various fields. This counts as Biya's sixth visit to China. The two presidents agreed to understand and promote political mutual trust and continue to support issues concerning each other's core interests and concerns. Both leaders also witnessed the signing of various cooperative documents covering areas such as business cooperation, infrastructure, and human resources development. More bilateral exchanges will be conducted during the Cameroonian president's visit in China. That signals the will of both countries to open a chapter of social, economic, and political exchanges in a new era. Zheng Yibing, CGTN, Beijing.
Well, Zheng Yibing is covering the Cameroonian leader's visit for us, and he's joining me now with the latest from Beijing. So Friday is day 2 of the Cameroonian leader's visit to China. What are the key highlights from his engagements today?
Well, the President Paul Biya is scheduled to meet Chinese Premier Li Keqiang as well as Li Zhanshu, chairman of the Standing Committee of the Chinese National People's Congress today. The meeting is scheduled to take place at exactly this moment in the Great Hall of the People in Beijing. The detailed information will be released and updated after the meeting this evening through CGTN. And both sides are expected to touch upon issues to promote bilateral ties concerning each other's core interests and major concerns. The schedule of the Cameroonian president covers many fields. Well, this morning, he visited the International Bamboo and Rattan Organization headquarters in Beijing as part of his state visit in China. According to the President Biya, bamboo and rattan are very significant for sustainable development in Africa and across the world. And he is proud of the Cameroon's contribution in this sector. Also, earlier this afternoon, sources said he visited the offices of Chinese telecommunications giant Huawei's office in Beijing. That's all the information we have got so far. Back to you.
Well, so what more is on his itinerary during his visit to China? What's the general achievements during his visit in China this time?
Well, yes, after today's schedule, the president is scheduled to leave Beijing for Shanghai for a visit in the local government and also the enterprises there for further cooperations in areas in the east part of China. Now, other details of President Paul Biya is not open to the media so far. During his trip, he has talked about the bilateral tie with Chinese President Xi Jinping, just like we mentioned earlier in the package on various fields. Now, both sides agreed to give full play to their sound friendship and great potential for cooperation to further advance bilateral ties. During the talks, Chinese President Xi Jinping also pointed out that China encourages the two countries to expand trade and enhance cooperation in major areas, and more Chinese enterprises will invest there in the country. He also called on both countries to intensify people-to-people exchanges. And China is ready to work with Cameroon in the areas of peace, security, and international affairs to protect the interests of the African countries and other developing countries. This important things during President Biya's visit in China includes that both sides signing agreements on economic and technological cooperation, human resources development, and infrastructure construction and industrial cooperation that would give impetus to further development of bilateral ties. Back to you.
Right, Zheng Yibing joining us there from Beijing. Thank you.